Black people, beautiful things happen when you stop giving people your energy. And this has been proven. Part of one thing that I've been preaching for the longest time is here in my channel. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that this is something that I've been saying. And I really like to take this chance to thank Black people for really standing on business, standing on the ground and not letting their guards down. Because for the longest time, people have been taking Black people for granted. But right now, Black people are making a statement and they're not going on the streets and they're not like making violent moves. No, Black people are staying still. And this has really shaken white America to the core. This has really reshaped what people think about Black Americans. And this has instilled confidence. And this is what was the most feared thing, that was the Black silence, because Black people have decided to go silent. Black people have educated themselves and they've understood the importance of unity. And this is the most important thing that 2025, all of it, we have seen Black people try to put. And I want to take this chance to thank all Black people for standing on business. I want to take this chance for Black people in history, the year 2026, and probably for the few Black people who understood all these things were here to happen. I want to take this time to thank you all for standing in business, to thank you all for getting out of chaos, because they even tried to look for Black people in the Epstein files. They can't find anything to pin down a Black person. But I know they've tried so much to gaslight you, to go on the streets. Look at what Donald Trump is doing. But I'm really thankful that Black people have taken to themselves to do what is right. And so I'm gonna let you watch this video. It is an important video. Probably most of the things that we Black people need to be reminded and know. And I'll just like to say upfront, congratulations, Black people, for the far that you've come. I want to let you watch this video by Tabitha Speaks Politics. All credit goes to him. I'll be back and then I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. So let's watch the video.
Since the election in November 2024, Black people have collectively been on the same page. And I believe it's because the ancestors are speaking to us from beyond the grave. We all have been on the same page since November of 2024, since we all learned that Donald Trump won the election, we have all collectively said, y'all got this, we are sitting this out. And for us to all be on the same page, it has to be our ancestors speaking to us beyond the grave. That is what I believe. In addition to that, Black people took the time to read Project 2025. Black people took the time to listen to and watch other people breaking down Project 2025. So Black people in the United States were the most educated on what they were planning to do because of Project 2025. It was an open book test. They put it out there for all of us to see. They made it free. You could have ordered that book for free. You could download it and read it for free. And a lot of people did not take advantage of it. A lot of people did not take it seriously. A lot of people tried to silence Black voices who were trying to educate and warn people about what was in Project 2025. Donald Trump won. And the chaos immediately started. Why? Because they had everything already planned. If they had the book free and available for people to download, they had already had all of their executive orders written out and planned. All Donald Trump had to do once he took the oath was sign them. So coupled with our ancestors speaking to us from beyond the grave and us being educated on Project 2025, we said, y'all got this. We said, y'all got this. We knew that what they were planning, they needed Black bodies in order to be successful. We knew it. And we said that we were not going to put our Black bodies on the line anymore. And we've been successful in doing that. And I will say that white people, especially out there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, are stepping up to the plate to do what needs to be done. I'll give y'all some finger claps for that. Just know it's a long battle ahead. But with that said, as a result of Donald Trump now being the commander-in-chief, he is in every way possible, him and his administration are desperately trying to fulfill all of what they need to fulfill from Project 2025 so that they can have this new world order. Okay? They're desperately trying to do that. But it ain't working out as they planned because we ain't out in the streets. I don't know if you know this, but Kevin Roberts, the CEO of the Heritage Foundation, it is rumored out there in the streets, I don't know, he studied Black Americans for decades. That's how they came up with this plan. That's how they were going to use Black bodies, because he specifically studied African Americans, Black Americans in this country, and how we rise up against injustices. And they thought that they were going to use that knowledge to get to their new world order. Y'all let me know. Is that true, Kevin Roberts? I've seen that plenty of times out there on social media. Anywho, they are floundering. They are flailing. A lot of the things that they attempt, they fail. First of all, Donald Trump, he should be known as the failure in chief. Nothing he touches comes to fruition. Nothing. He's incompetent. And they think that they can keep him under wraps. He will let them know quick, fast, and in a hurry. He's the HBIC. I use the B purposely because that's what he is. Anywho, so they want to attack journalism. They want to attack free speech. It's all a part of their game. And in doing that, they went after Black journalists. They wanted Black people to be the face of something, thinking that it would get us out in the streets. I believe that's why they specifically went after Don Lemon, and the fact that Don Lemon is doing what journalists should be doing, and he is doing it without fear. Well, we still ain't going out in the streets. But since Don Lemon's arrest and his release, him and his good friend Joy Reid got together over on his channel, and I found this clip, and I'm just gonna let you listen to it, but it provided confirmation for me that us sitting our Black asses at the house is where and what we need to be doing, because us sitting at the house is causing them to fail. Check this out.
That there were folks like you who had been on the channel and others, and once I talked to Tim, when I was able to talk to him, he's like, yeah, the channel's been going all day. Your team has been kicking ass. Your friends, your journalist friends have been on all day. He goes, you have no idea. And I'm like, no, I don't. Look at my face. I'm like, oh my God.
You can see it. You can see it. Of course you were. I mean, you never really, we talk all the time about fascism, and we know that part of what fascism is that your government will direct its awesome power against individual citizens. We know that's a possibility. But, as some, it's 2 days from you, and then it's 1 degree away from you. And then it's literally somebody you know who you text with and who's your friend. You know what I mean? It comes closer and closer and closer. It creeps closer and closer and closer until it's literally upon you. And then in your case, it's you. And so, you know, we're really, I think, processing as a country what authoritarianism is. And for people who think, oh, this is just abstract, this is not our issue, this is not about us, particularly Black folks, it's about us. Because you notice that what they finally drew down to is 9 Black people. They went through all of this hell to attack brown people and attack Black immigrants. And eventually, they always come back to African Americans. We are still the focus of the hatred and the bile of the far right, whether the far right is called the Confederacy, the far right is called slave owners, whether the far right is called Jim Crow, whether the far right is in the Republican Party or in the Democratic Party back before when it was the Dixiecrats. It doesn't matter what the brand name is. The far right in the United States always eventually comes right back to Black folks, because we really are, us and indigenous people, we're the evidence of the crimes of their ancestors. And they will never get over the hatred, the core hatred of us.
These are the 4, you mentioned the 9 people. These are the 4 journalists who were arrested. Georgia Fort, me, and then Traherne Jean Cruz and Jamel Lendl Lundy. But they're based in Minnesota. That's according to the reports. And so look at that. I mean, that is not by accident.
No, not at all. They want, I mean, and I'm looking here, you know, I've got the indictment. That was the other thing I did, printed out the indictment and started reading through it. And it reads like a horror novel. It doesn't even make sense. And I'm not a lawyer, but it doesn't even make sense to a layperson. But look, that's the picture they wanted. And, you know, there's been plenty of reporting, plenty of inside scoop from people like Lev Parnas that Stephen Miller and et al. Were upset about the fact that the visuals of the occupation of Minneapolis, the visuals of the occupation were very white. The protests, even going back to No King's Day that we covered together with Jim Acosta, very white. The people who turned out to No Kings too, very white. The people in the streets of Minneapolis, you were there, it's very white. The protest movement is led by white people because they're putting their bodies in the way, because they know they have a different relationship with police than we do, than Black people do. But the word from people like Parnas is that's not what the White House wanted. They wanted the face of what they want to call an insurrection, because they want to use the Insurrection Act, but they need the face of that insurrection to be what's on the screen. Black.
Damn, Joy, you're always sharing the truth here. And then they got it with this one. What do you, oh my gosh, I did not know that. So when you texted me or called me, you knew something was up.
I did.
And it is my opinion, the reason why they want Black bodies in the streets is because for centuries, white people did not care about Black lives. It is easier for their collective to accept certain things if Black bodies are murdered for them to get to that goal. That's why they want Black bodies in the street. They've been sacrificing Black people, our rights, for decades because y'all have been silent. Y'all have been okay with it. And when I say y'all, I'm saying white people. You good white people. Y'all continue to vote and put them into office, even though they are hurting and harming Black people. And so they just thought for sure that they would get to this point and Black people will get out in the streets. Black people will do what they have always done, put their bodies on the line. And Donald Trump will then install the Insurrection Act. He will murder a few thousand Black people, and you all would be okay with it. But Black people said, nope, because the ancestors spoke to us from the grave and said, sit this one out. White people continue to do what you have been doing. They have a different relationship with you than they do with us. It's going to be you to pull us through this. Point blank, period. Y'all let me know your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
You know, one of the most profound things that it was visible that all this were going to happen was the document Project 2025. And it really showed the reality, and it really showed like what the United States was to go through. And Black people took it to the point they understood, they read, they started preparing, and they knew what was coming. And now when the problem was hitting, they already know. And I want to talk about the other side of the story. We have majority of the Americans, apart from Black people, who didn't even dare look at the document, who didn't even dare study all these things. They never thought that it will be important. And this has helped Black people stay grounded. This has helped Black people educate themselves and see the importance of being educated, the importance of educating the Black community over all these things. Because if Black people didn't go and, read all these things, they would have fallen into the trap, and the trap that was set to them. But the answer was in Black people educating themselves. Black people understanding the importance of uniting, the importance of staying, importance of fighting for themselves. There is one thing that I usually say, and I'll still go on and say it. If there is an important commodity that a Black person has, is a fellow Black person. The only asset that a Black person can do or can have is a Black person. Let me explain it to you. You open a business, you expect you to support you, a fellow Black person. He is the asset. So the only asset that a Black person has is unity, and the unity is uniting, coalition with fellow Black people. And this is what all these people feared, right? So all these things that are happening and happened in 2025, because it left a lot of people asking questions. Why are Black people silent when all these things are happening? Why are Black people able to maintain their humor while all these things are happening? What is the secret ingredient that Black people have towards their happiness? It is because Black people understood. It is because Black people have studied the United States and they know what it is. Part of the problem with the United States is a couple of things that was indicated in the Project 2025. And we are all getting to see this happen in real time, and it's getting crazier. You can call it whatever you want. Some scholars call it this is the end, this is the death of America. Some scholars call it this is the collapse of an empire. All this was indicated in the Project 2025, and people knew that it was to happen. Only, quotes and quotes, ignorant people never even tried to look at the Project 2025. We had Black folks that went out of their way to educate people, to prepare people mentally of what was here to happen. So when they all see these things happening, they damn knew that it was here to happen. And so Black people were not surprised that this was happening. They already knew that this is something which was here to happen. In short, Black people were prepared for all these things that were happening. And it is so much important. I thank people like Tarita Speaks Politics for, coming out and also playing part in warning the Black community, to take care of themselves, to be careful. Because majority of the things that we are seeing happening today, they are just traps that they are trying to set to Black people because they want Black energy so much. And there's so many ways that people harvest your energy. They gaslight you. So through gaslight, they can harvest your energy. And how do they do this? They know that you are easily squeamished By squeamished, I mean that you are easily raged or sad, right? So they do things that will make you go online or say some things that probably you might regret saying. Feel me? So when you go out of your way and say all this and do all this, it means that they have already harvested your energy. They have harnessed your energy. And they they have it with them. Reading, educating the black community, black people standing on the ground, black people not falling for the gaslight, black people not joining things that doesn't concern them. Those are the things. Those are the most profound things. And black unity, not forgetting, those are the most profound things that have made black people stay grounded. You're talking about the black resilience? Now, this is black resilience. Black people have displayed what we call black resilience, and everyone in every part of the world is trying to ask themselves this question. Probably people are asking, why are black people able to keep their calm even in the midst of this storm? It is because black people educated themselves, and I'm really, really proud of my black brothers and sisters in the United States. Really, really proud of them 100%. Because what you decided to do, you decided to defy all odds which were put against you. People expected black people to march on the street. People expected black people to complain, be on the social media complaining about welfare and everything. But we all saw black people trying to tell them, nah, we are not depending on the welfare the way you think we are. No, we have some better things to do. We have some great things to do. And black people are trying to show them that. Because black people have nothing to prove. They have already proven their worth. They have already proven what they're capable of. And this all shows you the greatest of the greatest of the greatest things that black people could have ever done in 2025, which is influencing the calmness, which is influencing the silence that black people have, is educating themselves. Black people took it to themselves and educated their communities, educated their members about all these things that were yet to happen. And honestly, even God knows that I'm really, really proud of black people. I'm really, really proud of what black people have done. And I'm really, really proud of the chances that they have taken to make sure, to ensure that they are never remaining the same black people that people used to take for granted. And that's what makes me proud of black people. I really, really love black people. And I thank you all for standing down. Because at least now, people are getting to see their worth. You didn't have to prove it. You only needed to disappear. You only needed to watch things happen. You only needed to watch it crumble. You only needed to let it be. The ICE, the Minneapolis issues, all these things have tested the magnitude, the weight of you as a black person, but you didn't fall for it. That's what makes me feel so much proud of a black person. And I'm really, really proud of you. Because these people learned very well that they put a felon in their office. And now they get served what they did. I'm really proud of black people. That's all I had to say. And I appreciate your resilience. I appreciate your silence. I appreciate you people able to see these people for who they are. And that's a great display of resilience. That's a great display of what the entire America can never have. What you just displayed. It is what America can never have. And so, brothers and sisters, I was really encouraged by what Tabitha Speaks Politics was saying. And because as a person who follows things that happen in the United States and care about for my brothers and sisters, I decided to share with you this video. And as I said, all credits goes to Tabitha Speaks Politics. Because at the end of the day, we need black women. We need the black voices. We need black men voices that talks about all these things. That talks about all these craziness that is going on right now. Because they all need to be talked about. And so, brothers and sisters, I really don't know where you're watching me from, but I'm rooting for you, a black person. I'm hoping and I'm praying for you I'm seeing to one day that we will have peace that we want. All these things that we've been fighting for. I pray that one day it comes to happen, because I know that it is possible. I know that, as a matter of fact, that this can happen. I'm really, really proud of you, Black people. To the moon and back, I'm really, really proud of you, Black people. So, brothers and sisters, please let me know what you think and feel about this video. As you can see, I'm your host and present EduTech Stories. But until then, let me see you on my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.